Pinchas ben Moshe ben HaCohen. Chassidish Rebbe, by Shamashudis, he became a Muslim, and there was one of the Chassidim there who was a man of means, but when it came to the Dovish of Tzadok, so he was somewhat intrigued out, and he wasn't so open-handed. So the Rebbe wanted to use the opportunity to teach him to the Parshas from Pinchas Lavazar that he should be more of a late type, more good-hearted. So he said like this: Pinchas ben Moshe ben HaCohen. Pinchas is actually, he says, to mean two words. Pinchas to be pen, perhaps. Chos, you guard your money. You don't want to. You don't want to part with it. Ben it also could be bean. Understand Parshas. Elazar is two words. Elazar is kale oizer. That they should help him. Your money will help you. That whatever you give, you'll be maviach, you'll be masriach. Asher b'shuch it'll bring you much more than you spend. So he was sitting there listening. He said, "Who is up there?" He said, "I knew my lead is big, but I didn't know it was that big." He said, "It's over 45 years. I thought it was a name." So he took to life a Zimri ben Soli. Chazal bring that the number of Nisim miracles took place when Pinchas killed Kanai, she killed Zimri. That nobody at the whole Shevet Shimon, he was a Nasi, they all stood by, and nobody attacked Pinchas. After all, was their Nasi, the head of the Shevet, and nobody attacked Pinchas. So there were other Nisim as well, but even though at the moment when Pinchas killed the Nasi and Zimri ben Soli, at the moment they didn't kill or didn't harm, they didn't stop Pinchas, but later, after all, it was their Nasi. Why later weren't they like him in Pinchas? Why didn't they do anything afterwards? Tzadok HaCohen brings, he said like this here, the Maise in the Shchun of Rabbi, a peddler was coming through and he was hollering, he had something for sale, a peddler. Man boy some chayim. Man boy some chayim. Who wants to buy some kind of spice of life? Or who wants to buy a real shaman? So Danny opened up his window in the Smedrish and he hollered, he said, he said, show me a sample, I want to buy it. So he said, no. The fellow said, you don't need it. But after much opportunity, as understood of him, he insisted. So the peddler took out a tefillin and he showed him. He said, "Mi aish chovitz chayim, oy yami v'ayson and tzorshon chemira." That's the sound kind he has for sale. So Yanai said, "Kol yomai ha'isi kaira pasuk zeh." He said, "My whole life," he said, "how many times did I did I say this kapitel in Kilim, and I didn't realize I didn't realize how what state and how until this rifle came along and he said it. What exactly did the rifle add? The Teva add that the Rabbi didn't just by saying just talking to Israel. What did it add? Also, Tzadok brings when Rabbi Ben Azariah became Rosh Yeshiva, the place of Gamliel, so the Gemara brings the Parshas, in the Taisu, they added many more Hafsolim, many more seats in the Spanish, many more Talmidim. The Spanish was packed, many more Talmidim than when Gamliel said this year. The Gemara says, why in Parshas? Because there was a Shema Pesach, Shema Pesach. Because the day that Rabbi Ben Azariah became Rosh Yeshiva, so they took away the Shema Pesach, the garment that used to be Machis, Kol Shein Tov Bar Elikonis. Anybody who's not reading with Ernstkeit, not really sincere, should not come into this medrash. The question is, that the watchman stood there, and he was the one that could be mobbed, and he could bite it, wasn't place for late. He could determine, he could see who is Tzadok Gabar, not Tzadok Gabar. A plain watchman should be the one that could decide who's Tzadok Gabar, not Tzadok Gabar. So HaCohen says like this. He says that when a tchuna, a certain characteristic, is mushrish, is deeply rooted in a person, so others, those let this Tzadok, you see, you witness this, you're so influenced, you're mushpa by it, that you can't oppose it. You see, it does not mean Ernstkeit, it says sincerity. He said you can't oppose it. He said the Roichel, the peddler, from his experience going from town to town, so people gather around, besides buying, you want to hear juicy gossip, Lashon Hara was doing it next step to the step where it came from. So he, from his own experience, he saw that the Tzara, he saw what comes out from Lashon Hara, what comes out from spreading gossip, stories, tales from one to the other. From his own personal experience, he saw a big light, how destructive, what kind of harm it brings. So when he says, he says it with a different vehemence, with another, with more heart and yeshama. It comes out with much more toichoy than someone who just somebody davens and says the person can kill it. He says also he says that there was no by Gamliel. He says there was the Shema Pesach was not an actual person. It was the chruz. When Gamliel, when he would announce Kol Shein Tov Bar, so anybody who had any, they weren't completely sincere, they were deeply conscious. They felt what they're missing to be in their shlemus, in their sincerity. They couldn't bring themselves from the chruz alone. That was the way that Gamliel called out. They couldn't bring themselves to come into this medrash. So he said the same thing here is like Pinchas. When the Shevet Shimon, when he saw that the Kanois, which says Ernstkeit, says vehemence, that Pinchas, how he exacted Kanois in Zimri, so they couldn't pass, they were so influenced by him. They were so, it touched them so that they couldn't possibly be like him in Pinchas. And that's the pshat. The kano is kinosi, the soichel. He touched the soichel, the heart of each and every one of Shevet Shimon. Bakai Shoimer. Was HaCohen Zaki is a show. Take a film of the Mitzvah Shinema. I don't know if it's my children. Yad Lotero, Yad here.